What's going on, everybody? It's a late night edition of Blunt Force Logic coming to you hot from the phone. Give you guys about 30 seconds to jump on. Got a few things to talk about. Can't wait to discuss all the just random thoughts going through my head and logically what is going on in this country. Anyways, guys, hop on in. Please go ahead and share this out. Hit the like button. I know a lot of you might be sleeping, maybe watch it in the morning. Either way, come in and join us. Let's hit ourselves over the head with a little blunt force logic. What do you say? What's going on, everybody? It's a little late night. God, I'm actually always up pretty late, but usually I don't do this. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Just got in, late flight, long day, a lot of fun stuff going on. But I want to chat. We've got Autumn. What's going on? Leah, Robin, I see you all. Lynn, Miss Autumn. Actually, no, she's saying hi to Miss Autumn. Robin, Autumn. Excellent. Hi, Bob. Everybody's waving to each other. I love it. However, who's Bob? Where'd Bob? I don't even see a Bob. Christine, what's going on? All right. I'm gonna do a little blunt force logic. First off, there's a lot of comments. I was at a veterans event today. A lot of thumbs up with the Awake Not Woke. Shout out to Barb Allen for introducing me to some people to meet. Ron Hammond from OpsLens, TK who put on the softball tournament, the celebrity and vet softball tournament in Dallas or in Arlington. As well as Stu Peters. Stu Peters was awesome. Hung out with him for a couple hours last night talking in-depth politics and got to have just a lot of conversations, Matlock as well, just about the absolute and utter bullshit. Oh, you're Bob on Facebook. That makes more sense. Absolute bullshit that's going on. Like it's amazing. So guys, before I get started really chatting about different things, and if you guys want to talk about some stuff, I'm going to do a little chit chat. So if you guys want to put some stuff in the comment box, questions you have, stuff that you might want me to answer, that's what tonight's going to be all about. It's not going to be too long, maybe about 20 minutes. And then, what's up, Barbara Daniels? What's going on? Couldn't put the video over on Facebook. Oh, yeah, too. So there's nothing on Facebook. That's hilarious. Welcome to the world of shadow banning. We realized, so I did some stuff earlier on Facebook we had some trouble with as well. And then there was that other show that had like 7 viewers that I wasn't on, but had some struggles. Something's weird. What's going on, Big Tech? Let's see. So what do we want to talk about? So I've had a lot of discussions about January 6th. And as people might have seen, there's the video where people are crawling through the windows. I want people to think about something that is not being brought up fully. As we all know, there's some issues and situations, and you could talk and see some of James Sullivan. James Sullivan went on with SUNY. James is John Sullivan's brother, who also has ties to the Romney family. I want to be very clear about that. He was raised with help from Romney, who's a sponsor. I believe as though he was a professional speed skater, amateur speed skater, whatever. Got help from that family. Just throwing that out there. There is some evidence that should come out at one point that ties some foreign actors. I have to be careful on how I say things. Foreign actors via John Sullivan that were part of what infiltrated the Capitol first. Now, the question also becomes, who's the inside man? Why do I say, is there an inside man? You'll see the people in black jumping in that first bit and opening the doors from the inside. You can kick the doors as hard as you want. If you notice, the first person kicked the door, and I got news for you. It didn't open. Why? Because they're magnetic doors. You actually have to unlock those via the control room. You can't break those. You can break through glass, but you can't open the doors. Who opened the doors? Who opened the the doors. I stress so much about January 6th because I do believe that was one of the biggest smoke screens around that time to paint an image on why we could not properly investigate the E word because of the issues that were there. So by that quote unquote insurrection, it managed to completely deflect everything that we had and talked about the issues that we have or the need for investigation. Not that we said it was a F word, odd, none of that. We just said that we needed to investigate. That was what the bulk of rational thinking Americans thought, which we're seeing in Arizona. The information that I'm getting is that there is some serious discrepancies. I have to choose my words as carefully as humanly possible, but there's some serious discrepancies going on now. Does that mean that it's going to exonerate us for saying like there was issues? No. Why? Because there are so many bad actors on both sides of the political coin that are going to want this to go away for so many reasons, and that's not just on the Democratic side. I want you to think of the establishment Republicans that are rhinos. They're the ones that can sniff their head in with the right power and the right money to get in there and to make accidents, to seem as though they're helping, but all of a sudden things aren't filed correctly. So will we ever be fully exonerated? I don't know. But I can tell you, based on the conversations that I have had in the last few days with people that are well above my pay grade, there is stuff in Arizona that is very surprising. I know PTP has covered it a lot, and I have tried to avoid it because there is no mainstream links, but I've gotten to meet people that have discussions with so many different people. And fact of the matter is, if it doesn't come out, it shows that there's even a bigger, sinister issue at risk in our country that is controlling not just our country, but the whole world. I have also been told that the whole like Cameron scorecard thing, avoid that. Don't even use that as a speaking point. We still need to be looking at the ties to the machine, and that's really all I can talk about. But I can tell you that's what's going on. Soons, what's going on, Suni? Do you wanna BS with me on here for a little bit? I can send you the link. Let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. How do I do that from my phone, just in case? Guess. Invite a guest. Okay, I have it just in case if you want. And then I can send it to you. Actually, maybe I can do that real quick. Don't anybody go anywhere. I don't know if it's still recording. I don't know if it's got my face, but just in case, I'm going to throw this over to Suni if she wants to jump on. Okay, back to the main screen. It was probably black for a second. All right. China. It's actually not just China. It's also, hey, what's going on? And hello. I don't know. That wasn't Russia. It was supposed to be Germany. There's still those ties. And if you also remember what happened on January 6th, the day before that was the day that they started talking about Italy's connection. And after the quote unquote insurrection, what happened? We stopped talking about that. We got a decent amount of people watching right now, even though it's late night. So I need you guys to do me a favor and go ahead and all of you guys hit the like, hearts, care button. If you guys can, please do that for me. Also, there's some information coming out, speaking of Michigan, on the odd circumstance and coincidences of the places that Facebook decided to fund the election assistance in different cities. I'm talking slow because I have to choose my words so incredibly carefully because of big tech. So, yeah. So that's another huge deal. Do you know who from Missouri went to Arizona? I do not know that. I don't know if I understand the question. Let me go back and see if there's any other questions. Watching on Facebook. I guess people are watching on Facebook. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. What am I doing up so late? Yep. Liked and shared. Thank you guys. Let's see. Mike Nero was born in Oregon for the stuff at the Oregon Capitol. All right, that's good. Okay, so what I was talking about with those two things, in terms of January 6th, as well as just the oddity of the fact that the doors were opened up from the inside from a control room. They're not giving up any of the names of the police officers that we've seen in videos where they're saying, come on in, or doing it. They're on what I believe, allegedly administrative leave, but nobody knows who they are, what they are, where they are, etc. They're not able to be interviewed, which is absolutely absurd. They're not giving up footage from the inside. They're not giving up logs of who was in the control room when the magnetic doors were miraculously open. It's crazy. Oh, you're doing. Oh, that's so funny. Apparently, she brought a little too much of the CBD with a little hint of THC into the old Japan. So she didn't think she was breaking the law, and I don't think she was, but they're so strict out there, unlike the United States of America. Did anybody see that there was an article? I put it up on my story on Instagram that said that the was it transgenders? No, LGBTQ community is more likely to get pulled over. I'll say that again. The LGBTQ community is more likely to get pulled over. Now we've gone from racism to somehow a cop being able to sniff out if somebody is gay in their car. Can we have a talk about that? Can we think about the lack of logic and reasoning coming from this planet and this earth world? It's absolutely absurd. What's the other one? There was the Nancy's friends. I'm going to go back. I keep bouncing back and forth. January 6th thing had so many different issues. You've got everything that I'm looking at right now, and the extra conversations I've had across the board point to a Republican member that disliked Trump and had a lot of power, that had the ability to switch this over to work on this. So I just wanted to let you guys know. That's everything that I'm seeing and doing my own discussions, back researching names, cross-referencing a bit. It comes down to, let's just say Utah. One of the most powerful men in the world, couldn't win the presidency, but still managed to put his fingers in different things. Anyways, and somehow, for some odd reason, the request for 10,000 National Guard weren't put up there. I mean, it could not have been a better ploy to make sure everybody was thrown off at the scent of what was going on, in other countries, Italy, what was going on with investigations. It had to be done that day. It was a trap. It was literally the biggest political trap you could possibly imagine. January 6th, to have this like, oh, this is perfect. This is the day we're supposed to be doing this. Everybody's going to be, all eyes are on us. And we are going to make sure that it looks as though a bunch of Trump supporters are, based on the words of Donald Trump, having an insurrection here at the Capitol. And we're going to make sure there's not enough police for 500,000 people. We're going to make sure there's not enough National Guardsmen. We're going to make sure that there is a complete hole and void. And we're just going to make sure that we also get them riled up enough, because even if they're singing the national anthem, we start throwing flashbangs at them and rubber bullets, they're going to get angry. They're going to actually get feisty, and it's going to go down. It's going to be perfect. And then nobody's going to pay attention to the fact that there is a lot of government members, there was Congress and Senate that did not want to go through with, they wanted an investigation. How do you make that go away? You create this huge event that they can manage to paint as the worst event in history. And now you've got 40, 50 people rotting in a jail that had minor issues. It's crazy. Let's see. Now we call and see. Is probably going after Big T. Fauci's being called for, I see now, from senators, as well as going after big tech. Press release of service centers. I don't yet, because I don't know how at this point he could still be. No matter how you spin it, there is people that are saying, well, it just shows he was working so hard, etc. There were still drastic mistakes made. There's video footage from 2018 of Fauci talking about gain-of-function research, which is a huge deal, and it could have caused this. His own group funded it, and again, it's not been confirmed that it was Wuhan lab, but at this point, it's more of the duty for them to prove that it wasn't, to be to be totally honest. Yeah, we have some really good information coming soon. As soon as we can post it and have more, I'm going to go and drop that. Suni, you and I need to have a talk this next couple days after Luca's dance recital. We got to have a little chat because there's some crazy stuff that I can't really talk about on here it's from reputable sources. But yeah, I don't know if you saw, there's somebody on Instagram that said that. It's like, do police officers have gaydar? How are they able to actually tell that they're pulling some? Oh my God. I don't know how any of this makes sense anymore. It really doesn't. Nothing makes sense. Let's see. I talked to Cash earlier today. They're getting word in jail, like all the different stuff that a different narrative is being painted. Marjorie Taylor Greene has stepped in. We know Newt Gingrich has gotten some help. Obviously, Julie Kelly's been a rock star. Hopefully, I can get some information from Cash over to Stu Peters' show. He's got a very big following as well, and continue to grow it. And actually, Stu Peters right now has some pretty big connections actually in politics. So all these different people will be really good. Keeps you posted. Audit can't. That's kind of what I was saying. So can't be certified. The audit can't be certified because that could be an issue. That could be a roadblock. They're saying it might not be certified because of the fact that there's congressional members stepping in. Congressional members stepping in on a bipartisan level, which is super weird. So the Republicans, we have to pay very, very close attention to the Republicans that are supporting shutting down this audit. To be very clear, if they are supporting their constituents that may or may not have voted for them, but did vote for somebody in their party, which is considered the GOP and the Republican Party, and they're standing against a fair audit, they are suspect. But they might be, it's all about choosing sides at this point. Are they choosing the side that they know is going to win, or they hope is going to win? Whatever side wins, they want to be on the right side of that history for them, for their political gain and for their political purpose. We all know politicians suck. This is the ultimate game of, do I pick the red team or the blue team, or what side do I pick? Let's see. Anything else you got your Cash shirt on? Love it. I like wearing that one to the gym. Set up from the beginning. What were you asking, Barbara Daniels? Good or bad thing? It's a good thing. I can't remember what I was saying there. Also, speaking of Barbara Daniels and this group, I'll be doing What Made You Smile today, tomorrow. And with that, I'm taking on 5 free coaching clients, completely free. If there's a life-changing thing that happens to them in the 6 weeks that we work together, and I'll just say that I used to charge $200 an hour. I'm not charging anything at the end of it. Or if like 6 months down the road it changed your life, pay me then. If not, does not matter. I'm not asking for any money or anything like that, but I want 5 of the best people. I have a link on the page, on my Be The Change page. Scroll down on Facebook, and I want people. There's already been about 10 people that have commented to say yes with an exclamation point, and then to say where they are now and where they want to go. And I will select based on what I feel like God wants me, who God wants me to work with, and we will go from there. Barbara, of course, you're you know the rules. Barbara, you're one of them as long as you go live for your Tupperware event. Yes, I saw that. And we've been kind of in a group chat with him, and I've been continuing some of the conversation with some other people also. Suni. Suni, you don't count as one of the 5. You and I, you always have my ear. We can always do pep talks all day long. Okay, Battle of the Info, is it good or bad heading our way? Okay, so I get it. So about the info I've been hearing, is it good or more bad crap headed our way? And I told you I take credit for that. So it is good to know that we're not insane. That's the best thing I can say, is we are not insane, but that does not necessarily mean anything is actually going to change. And there's also the 2 schools of thought. Mike Lindell, crazy pillow guy, he's under the belief system that if they can show the results in Arizona, and he's investing a lot of his own money in that, if they can show the results in Arizona, then they can overturn the E word. However, rhymes with erection. With that said, another lawyer came and had the same discussion and said, based on constitutional rights, once the presidency has been handed over, it gets very fishy, or it gets very muddy. And it's actually an impossibility to switch that. So we can't go back on it. If anything, there is no rule or precedent for this exact instance. So even if all this is proven, one of the options at the best that it could be is that they go, yeah, well, we have a pretty broken system and we got to figure it out before the next election. Or there's people that can say, will they find a way to bring him back into the fold? So, let's see. Autumn, make sure you go ahead and check out it's a post. I'll try to pin it at the top of the page tonight. It is, which is why it would have to be. Is it something that could be gone to the Supreme Court? Where could it? It's just there's a lot to it. And again, will it even get there? Is my question, based on the fact that there is so many quote unquote bad actors, even in government, that are on both sides that will not allow it to happen. That's the issue. So we'll see. But I mean, if to be honest, where we are in this country right now, I actually find like with Kamala and with Biden, it gets to a point where at least who gives a shit who's president for both sides. I think both sides will have that opinion and that feeling at that point where it's kind of like, all right, the Democrats will go, he didn't really potentially win, and maybe we shouldn't be so upset at the other side. And it's already at a point where I don't know how many people can actually look at what's going on in the country and be like, thumbs up, massive inflation, house prices, can't build anything with wood anymore, can't taxes are not taxes the way that he said they would be, but when prices are going up 4 to 7% on every consumer good, sometimes going up 60%, gas prices going up 70% or 60%, it's like that's also a version of tax. Inflation is a version of tax. He's finding a very interesting way to go about it, printing money and doing infrastructure plans and shit we don't really need. Meanwhile, by the way, talking about Kamala, I saw Hawk Newsom's page. He's one of the New York heads of BLM, which 98% of the time is supposed to make me want to jump off something. But he challenged Kamala Harris and was just like, where's the compassion now? You know, two-faced liar, which again, I actually agree with Kamala when she went down to Guatemala and said, do not come. It's about time somebody said it. But this woman and this administration campaigned on it, essentially created the problem that we are seeing right now, created everything that we are seeing on the border. Children getting raped, children getting molested, people getting trafficked, people coming into this country without having any real place to go, children getting separated at the border, all these different horrific things happening were pretty much because they campaigned on, if we win, bring it. There's video, there's audio, there's all these different things. And now she's saying don't come, which some of the liberal left is saying that's ridiculous, even though that was the right thing to say. But it does show that every bit of this election was won on rainbows and kittens. Like, it was all bullshit. It's the exact same way that people win a high school election, which is what I said then, which is we're going to promise free love, free everything. And, you know, high school is like, you're going to have a soda machine in every room. You're going to have pizza for lunch every day. Like, all well and good. That sounds fantastic, but everybody knows it's not sustainable and it'll never even actually happen. So here we are, whatever, 100 and something days into this presidency, and they're already realizing, you're already getting those same hypocritical things that Trump was judged for, meaning we have to have strong borders, we have to make sure that we keep certain things out, we have to keep things peaceful, and he was deemed a racist, a xenophobe, all these different things. And now this new administration is doing it. And we've all seen the videos of Obama saying the exact same thing. Obama, as we all forget, he legitimately deported more people than any other president in history combined. Not Trump, Obama deported more. Trump had the mission, had the responsibility of blocking our borders, because when you've taken 11 million people out of the country, they're going to want to find a way back. Trump struggled in the beginning and then found a course that worked, and we had our border secured and getting more and more secure by the day. And here we are with the worse than even when Trump came into office, after 11 million people were deported by far, and no transparency in the administration. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, unicorns and puppies. That was the word I was looking for. Coming up to prevent communists, China. Let's see. I see a bill coming up. That it's. I saw the same thing. Is that ever going to pass? Probably not. There's way too many people in our government that have. If it does, I'll stand corrected. But they'll find a way to. What they'll find a way to do is, and this is what I'm going to guess will happen. Somebody on the GOP will create a Republican addition to the bill that includes something that they know that the rest of the Republicans will not like, because it'll affect their foreign interests or whatever it might be. So what they're going to do is they're going to find a way to smother this bill and not pass it because of fine print. Because there is plenty of people in too high positions that make way too much money from the Chinese Communist Party. Period. That's what I'm going to say. He's afraid to talk to me. What did I miss? Who's afraid to talk to you? Who, me? I'm not afraid to talk to you. We can do one-on-ones on our own. That sounded bad, not dirty. I didn't mean it like that. What is this little thing on my hair? Super weird. So I asked for that. I asked some people that know, again, like the higher ends of this the political spectrum, and we've talked about that. And wouldn't that be great if he ran in Florida and then was able to take the House seat, work on the impeachment of Kamala and Joe? That is probably, for what I've heard, more of a pipe dream than Trump coming back, to be honest. Just to be clear of the exact conversations I just had. How can be governed? But if it's proven illegitimate, how can that's honestly, it's uncharted territory. And talking about if it's proven that there was issues with it, it creates chaos, which is another reason why technically the Supreme Court can make a decision. Actually, our government can make a decision that is what is better for the people, which could be to actually hide information. If that is the safer alternative for the people, because this is how governments are overthrown. If we're that weak to the point where we have an illegitimate president and we have people that are wondering why we are where we are, and we've got 75 million people that voted for Donald Trump, well, that's not my president. And then it will create mass chaos. So the question becomes, is that another reason why they could bury it? Let's see. Captain Panda Pants. Unicorns, puppies, cupcakes. A little too late. They won't listen to her. Who's afraid to talk? I'm so confused. Dodges me when inviting him on the phone. Who are you talking about, Suni? Oh, Hawk. Sorry. Hawk's an absolute baby back B word. I've asked him to come on. Him and I have actually exchanged messages before. He does not like me much, but he doesn't hate me. Not a huge fan, but like he like when it was him and Tommy Lauren on a show, or him and any conservative guest, like they do that thing where they like show a minute and a half and like, oh, I crushed her. It was like destructive. And then you watch the 15-minute clip and you're like, no, you absolutely did not. Hog Newsom is a very hateful human being. And the posts that he has on his page just incite massive amounts of hate speech, and Facebook doesn't care about it. So, let's see. All right. I'm probably going to wrap this up. Is there anybody else? So, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Hawk Newsom will talk to white conservatives, I think, a lot easier than black conservatives, because somebody like Suni is going to pose way too big of a threat for his street cred. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is Suni's going to get called names by black people in there that she's heard a million times. Cash has heard a million times, plain and simple. Oh, Soons. You want me to bring you on? Hold on.
I was talking about Hawk Newsom.
I know. I figured that out now. This is hard. This is way hard to do on my phone when I'm on StreamYard. It's way harder.
Oh, you're on your phone. Okay. Yeah. All right, you get a pass.
What's your? That's the most fashion forward outfit I've ever seen to do community service. Look at that.
I know, man. Like, look. No, I got the Duke gear on. I got the UNC hat. They got me picking weeds by the damn dumpster. It's hard out here.
There's so many jokes I can make, but they're not good. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Hey,
avoid
look, I've already said them. Like, how ironic. They got the
it.
black person picking. It ain't cotton, at least, right?
You better not want it to be cotton. I don't know. Have you ever actually been to a cotton field, Suni?
Yeah, they have a lot of them in North Carolina.
That shit hurts.
It
I,
does.
I went in one and I was like we were doing like photos. He was like, this is nice. I was like 10 years ago and I went in there. I had prickles all over my legs. I had prickles all over my hands. I was like, okay, slavery was some bullshit because this is horrible. This is the worst thing and I'm in here for like 3 minutes. It was terrible.
Facts. Nah, I'm just doing my community service, man. It's nice though. I get to enjoy the beach. This beach is here. My kids are on the beach. My husband's down there, and I'm stuck here between dumpsters.
It's a family event.
Yep.
Well, I'll let you go back to work. I wasn't going to be on here very long, but hey, we got a lot to talk about. I had some real interesting conversations.
I can't wait. I'll hit you up.
All right, later, soon. Anyways, guys, again, this is more just a chill. This is not me doing an in-your-face blunt force logic, just having a little bit of fun. Houston said we should consider a new option for candidacy that could rival Democrats and Republicans. We can't rely on Trump for candidacy. Houston, that sounds like a great idea on paper. We had Joe Jorgensen on a show the other day, and I did ask the question, how do we get past this two-party system, which is becoming closer and closer, where, you know, with the rhinos mixed in with the Democrats, we're becoming an oligarchy in this country. So how do we fix it? And honestly, it's going to be hard. It's going to take some really interesting thinking, because no matter how close to that 5% barrier is huge, because 5% of a presidential vote allows for federal funding. Joe Jorgensen didn't really talk about that, even though I asked her about it. But at the end of the day, that 5% gives the chance for the next election. But how many people in the United States of America are willing to waste a vote for immediate for prolonged gain? So that essentially means you're doing a vote that has no bearing on the next 4 years of your life. So it's essentially that needs to go away. That needs to be something spoken about. Local leaders need to get involved, local voting, local politicians, and find a way to create petitions where the 5% threshold is decreased to maybe 2%, or essentially there has to be some big money that goes in, which is hard, but big money that goes into a third party. As much as I disagreed with the way Mark Cuban handled his discussions with Trump and leaning towards the Biden side, I do know Cuban is very fiscally conservative, but at the same time, he does have some really different beliefs about social justice, and he might be able to play a middle ground, and he's got enough money and enough rich friends where they might be able to get together and create just the possibility. But it's going to be real hard. It's real hard. Oh my God, Barbara said Casey fangirl. That's great. Since I wasn't a libertarian, I couldn't. I mean, if Trump came on one of our shows, it'd be pretty tough to contain myself too. Let's see, like they do under the table. Like, I'm gonna be honest, Cash and I talked about it because we were kidding. When Cash and I met, we were on his porch, chilling on the stoop, and we were talking, and we're like, you know, I said that I might have aspirations to be president someday, and he's like, bro, you're gonna be president someday, and this is a funny, you know, sounds ridiculous, but I'm like, the problem is, do I want to run down that road? Because I don't know if I can be a Republican. I don't know if I can run on their GOP ticket. I know as sure as hell I'm not a Democrat anymore. That's about 10 years away was the last time I was a Democrat. But when you try to look at the third powers, what do they do? Third parties, what do they do when they're coming up? They destroy them. They absolutely make it impossible for them to have any kind of chance, any kind of option, any kind of chance to actually make it. They first start out with trying to bury them with stories about their personal life, and then it becomes it gets ugly and gets dangerous. I'm like, is that something you really want? I'd really want to be a part of, and I don't know. So starting a third party is very, very difficult, because at the end of the day, you're not fighting against Democrats, you're not fighting against Republicans, you're fighting against all of them, because at the end of the day, they play for the same team that wants to maintain in power, in party. They are all the swamp, plain and simple. You would think that he's in hotter water than he is. There's still so many people giving him a pass. It's disgusting. And here's the deal. I'm gonna agree, but at the same time, like the corruption our government runs so deep that was Trump tainted as well. Like, is there any soul left that's human? I don't know. Bum, bum, bum. Rob, what up, brother? A lot of information about the audits. We already knew about the F word happened. What's being reported in Arizona won't it be hard for them to try to make the truth go away. It will be, and I don't know when you jumped on, Tony, but the information that I've recently gotten and just kind of the way things have been looked at is with the right GOP moles, there can be mistakes made that make that go away. Plain and simple, where it'll just seem it'll still continue to cast doubt on what seems to be the truth coming out. So agreed. And it's really hard for them to make the truth go away, but they've managed to make it go away this long. Possibly with the help of our vice president, our last vice president. Anyways, I think that's about it, guys. I just wanted to chat. I did a very peaceful one. I want to say I'm going to share the clip later. There was an older veteran that sang the national anthem at this event tonight, and it was great. He at the end of it, he like grabbed the mic back, and he goes, he talked about Hollywood. Back in his day, Hollywood went to war, and like all these, it was great. It was phenomenal. Athletes went to war. We served our country, we fought for our country. But there was one point he goes, if you don't like the national anthem, how about you go find someplace, go find someplace else and see how that works out for you. It was an old guy in all the different gear, and it was phenomenal. Crowd went nuts. It was good stuff. Let's see. It doesn't have to be a different party. You say it's going to be hard. How do you think our founders felt when they signed the Declaration of Independence? I get it. No, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. But in our modern world, I believe as though it's even more difficult than it was then. Technology has changed the musket and the war. And we had the advantage, independence. I'm going to be honest with you. We had the advantage. We had been living on this land for a while. We knew the terrain. We knew the territory. We had a built-in stronghold, and this is not the information age back then. So in order to misinform people, it was much more difficult. So I agree it was difficult. I believe as though it's harder now. I'm going to be totally honest. Not impossible. Nothing's impossible, but I do believe it's harder now. And yeah, God bless our troops. The veterans game tonight was awesome. I saw we had a veteran that hit a softball out of Globe Life Park, it was 335 feet. If anybody knows like celebrity softball games or whatever, they usually have a shorter fence. And this one, he cleared the whole kit and caboodle. It was a monster shot. It was pretty badass. Anything else? Any other word I got for you guys? No, that's about it. I didn't even take notes. So I'm sure I'll do this again either tomorrow or Monday. But remember, what made you smile today will be tomorrow. And again, check on my post. I'll pin it right when I get off of this before I go to bed. That if there is anybody that's out there that wants to work with me for free as coaching, my performance coaching that I used to do so much, I'm taking 5 of the people that I select. And there's already people that have commented. So if you see that post, hit yes and say where you are now, not on this one, but on that post. I'll pin it up to the top page where you are now, and where you want to be. And we're going to do 6 weeks, 1 hour coaching sessions, full free. And if you feel as though I've provided value, this is actually inspired by Jermaine Jordan. If anybody saw that show, he gives away food for free. Doesn't even have a cash register, but everything works out for him anyways. And it's not about me looking for things to work out, but it's the fact that I truly love doing what I used to do and doing the coaching and motivational stuff and motivational coaching. I'll be in Dallas actually speaking next Friday if anybody's around. Friday night, yeah, next Friday. So I'll keep posting about that as well. So again, if anybody wants that option, let me know. Yeah, Barbie, sorry, they might. That there is going to be some rules that they have to follow, because here's the thing: when people don't pay for something, sometimes they don't take it as serious. It's like, that's why I always doesn't mean not everybody can. That's why when I always tell people, what's the first step of running a marathon, I always say, go pay for the marathon. Pay for the marathon 6 months from now, 8 months from now, whatever it is, because that mentally commits us. That's a human nature once we pay for it. It's not about getting new shoes. The new shoes will come after you've paid for it, because when you get new shoes, you'll be like, these feel great. And it's 3 months down the road, you're like, oh, I didn't pay for it yet. Maybe I'm not ready. You're ready, period. So that's the thing. I'm going to make sure people are holding themselves to a standard as if they were paying for it. Tony, it's on my Be the Change page. I will pin it right after this video is over. You're on Facebook, so you might be able to scroll down now. It just said in there, I have an idea or something, and it's got a like text block, but I'll pin that at the top of the page. Barbara, yeah, you better have that. Lock it up. Better have that video. Anyway, super tired, guys. I'm going to go to bed. Love y'all. Be the change you wish in the world. Remember to be awake, not woke. I'm designing some. We got the hats coming out soon. It's got awake across the top. And then I'm going to have an awake, not woke patch on hats. Kind of similar, like something like this, but not leather. You get it. Guys, get some good sleep. Wake up, refreshed. Go work out tomorrow. What's going on there? I'm down with OPP. All right. Take it easy, y'all.